Welcome to another episode of Frilete and the Start Now culture. My name is Consolete, and today I am joined by Ange Mumporeze. She is one of those people that I've been able to follow and has seemed to add so much value and add so much dedication to the life that she lives. She owns a studio here in Melbourne, and I get the honor to speak to her, and she has been a photographer, self-taught, and doing amazing thing. Truly, honestly, it's about finding your purpose and your passion in things and putting it out there, and this is what I'm trying to highlight with these episodes. So I'm really excited to introduce the amazing Ange Mumporeze. Thank you so much for being here.
The pleasure's mine.
Okay, wow. I'm in Melbourne.
Yes, you
and
are.
I am excited to meet you, and I'm excited to sit down and have this coffee with you, or tea. In this case, tea. I should really be
I'm like, they can see it's tea.
It's tea. I promise it's tea. So thank you so much for coming out and taking the time to do this chat with me, this interview with me, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to do this. And the reason why I've literally picked you, because you have a studio that you have built, and you work with so many creators who are going through their own journey of finding their purpose and finding what they are doing, and it feels like this is the right conversation to have with you, because one, you're in the journey of doing and creating what your purpose is and what that looks like, and also you work with different minds, so you are exposed to these things, and I'm really excited to have these conversations with you and just talk to you about it. What do you prefer, actually, before I go anywhere else? What do you prefer, tea or coffee?
What do I prefer? Honestly, I can't handle tea. I mean, I can't handle coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee and me don't go. Like, I drink it, but I shouldn't be doing that.
You shouldn't?
No.
How come?
I feel like when I drink it, I don't feel good, but people make you think, like, drink coffee to get through your day. So I'll do it, and it'll backfire. So I'm like, why am I doing this? So I'm a tea girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really love coffee. I do like tea. I'll drink tea, but I'm always like, I have to have a coffee a day.
Yeah.
Like, to just get me going.
Yeah.
It's not even like, I can fall asleep straight away.
Yeah.
But it's just always like, I just have to have a coffee.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter
I
what
think
it
it's a
is.
cultural thing. Like,
It
people think,
is,
like,
eh?
coffee equals, like, getting that productivity, starting the day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I'm a tea person. I need to be on my teas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the one thing in your house that you can live without, but you have all the time?
That can't live without?
Can't live without.
That I can't live without. Something in my house? Do my kids count? As in, I don't know, something like a tool or something?
Yeah, definitely. Your kids gotta stay.
Yeah, the
We're
kids
gonna
are in. The husband's in. The something in the house that I can't live without. Maybe my laptop. All my work is done on that. So if
Yeah.
the house is burning, like,
Yeah.
I'm getting the laptop.
Okay.
I should probably get my passport, but
Yeah.
I'm going to get the laptop.
You know, you can always escape to a different country.
That's true.
Probably. Yeah, passport might be good. But I
Yeah.
never really thought about passport.
Yeah.
But what is the thing that you have, but you can live without then?
As in, I have. Wait, this is such an inception.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah, but you can, like, if you didn't have it,
Yeah.
it'll be okay.
Oh, there's so many things. I'm not materialistic.
Okay.
I feel like the majority of the things in my house, they're just things.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. Like, I'm not like a label or brands girl or anything, like shoes, whatever. The majority of the stuff, I feel like I can live without it. I'm not a very materialistic person.
Okay.
But, like, maybe my camera will be a good one. Take that. The rest, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to them.
Well, there is one thing. I asked this because I've made a lot of changes in my life.
Okay.
And there's one thing that I do not have in the house. And everyone, when they get in the house, they're like, you don't?
It's a TV. I knew it. Yeah.
I do not have a TV.
Yeah.
And every single time I invite somebody over, it's like, oh, that's one thing I don't notice. I shouldn't say that
That's
out loud.
becoming normal, though. I feel like people are normalizing, like, not having a TV and finding different ways to entertain yourself.
Exactly.
I like that. I feel like with kids, they need the screen time. Mama needs a break. So we're going to have a TV. We're going to have a TV.
Oh my God. Oh, that's amazing. That's great to hear that. Yeah. In saying that,
Yeah.
we're going to start our questionnaire. Tell me, what are you working on right now?
Girl, a lot. I've got a lot on my plate at the moment.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the studio is like a new business, relatively new, a year and a half. So working on that and working in that as well. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm working on, being a parent. That's a big job, probably my most important job.
Yeah.
Working on like learning more and upskilling myself as like a photographer, and recently started working again after having my second child. So working on getting used to like that new routine, balancing everything, running a business, running a family, lots of stuff to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been a photographer?
That's a good question. I feel like it's pretty new.
Yeah.
So last year I had the studio. We're
Yeah.
already like running the studio, and then I noticed a lot of the clients would come in like I'd want to be getting like a specific shot for even like our page or for them, and I'd just be like, I could take the photo for you. And I had a camera, I'd had an interest, but I never thought like I was a photographer. Like I felt
Yeah.
like it's something that's, you know, you need to be qualified and you need
Yeah.
to be all these things to be it. And I ended up taking photos for clients in the studio, just like organically it happened, as you can imagine. And then in the end, I was like, okay, this is actually something I'm doing regularly. It's something they're asking me for, something I really enjoy. Like I've just loved taking photos. I've always loved it. Like I've had a camera since I was maybe like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I always liked taking pictures, but I was like, that doesn't make me a photographer. Whereas then I was like, okay, now I'm editing and I'm like running a business, and this, it kind of was like, I'm becoming a photographer. Like it's
Yeah.
happening kind of organically, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love it. I love taking photos of people. I like when people feel good when they see the picture. Like when they see it and they're like, yo, that's me. Like that's me. Oh, me. Like that moment there makes me very, it's like a gift you can give someone to see themselves in this really cool light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's telling somebody's story in a different perspective, and I guess in a way I look at it as you are saying that, I look at it as when they go, is that me?
Yeah.
It's like you get to see yourself in a completely different
Yes,
eye.
100%.
And it's a different story to tell in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
It's a special moment. Like
Yeah.
it's something I've always liked, even before doing it professionally or anything. Just like even now, I'd want to take a picture and like just so you can keep this, like it's memories, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel like it's always something that has made me really happy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you develop the studio as well. From there, is that the journey of the studio?
It's not. Honestly,
Realizing
the studio, if you
how-
told me 5 years ago that I would have a content studio, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a lawyer girl. Like, I don't know what you're on. I was a corporate
Oh.
girl, and it just took like I think after 2020 with the pandemic, having a baby in the like lockdowns,
Yeah.
something just like I saw like life differently. I saw like opportunities that I hadn't really thought of.
Yeah.
And I think I've always been interested in taking photos, editing stuff. Like I'll just
Yeah.
find myself since I was really young. Like I'll just take, even if it's not a photo I've taken, I just had this urge or desire to like just take something and make it better.
Yeah.
You know, like if even the most basic thing, I'm like, this could be changed if we do this, do that.
Yeah.
And I never really thought of it as something that you could make money from. I just thought it's something I like to do. It's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's something that I can, like my mind just kind of slows down when I do those things. And so it wasn't something I intentionally went into, but yeah, it kind of made sense. Like it wasn't as intentional as you'd think. It's not that like, I finally opened my studio. It wasn't like a dream I've always had. It
Yeah.
kind of just happened very organically, but it was also like a surprise to me in the sense I haven't always dreamt of it. It's very, hard to explain.
Isn't that like one of those amazing things that you can do as a person, is that it's not that you've gone and find it. It's like you're in the moment,
Yep.
and then you discover something about yourself, and
Yeah.
then you're there, and then
Exactly.
you realize, whoa, this is me, and this is what I've been creating, and whatever has happened in my life has led me to this, and now I'm seeing myself as this as well. Like
Yeah.
for me, like it's been just like a passion that comes to life when
Yeah.
things like that happens for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is definitely calling. I didn't go searching for it.
Yes.
It's definitely a calling, and that's how I see it
Yeah.
and I view it.
Definitely. I think it's so interesting when it's not something you're like, it's good to like want something and go for it,
Yeah.
but it's even different when it meets you and you're like, okay, this keeps coming back and back. And I think like the moment I noticed, like I wasn't taking the photographer role seriously. I just love content.
Yeah.
And I did there was a photo shoot at my studio, and this really amazing photographer was taking photos. And I was like, would you mind if I just like took some too? Like, I was
Yeah.
just like, is it okay if I just take some? I'm not going to post them. This is your shoot. And then in the end, they posted the photos I had. They were like, can we see yours? And they posted theirs. And I was like, okay, maybe I've got something here. Maybe I can do a little something. And then it kind of like developed gradually. Obviously, I made sure I got like permission from the photographer who it was his shoot. But it was cool to see for the first time people being like, oh, I'd pay for your photos, or I'd pay for your content, I'd pay for your advice, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like my dream. It kind of just happened organically. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to explain. Yeah.
I love that. I guess like one of our value at Frilete is transform your now for your better tomorrow. And that's one of the things that we're trying to live by, and going through that process of living today to be able to have a different tomorrow in a way, and just have a fulfilled, more happier and enjoyable life, if that makes sense.
100%.
And so that's one of the things that we live by. And your journey for me, like you say, it happened organically. Like you didn't go searching for it. It's something that you just loved, and step by step you just been building up to it.
Yeah.
And look at you today. You're like, you got a whole studio happening.
Yeah.
You are working as hard as you can, and you are developing all these skills about yourself. As you said, you're a lawyer. You are used to corporate, not creativity, but you're here, and it's this calling that has just come to you, and you're like, yes, I'm going to handle it. I'm going to take it into hands. Yeah.
I think it's like, okay, some people think like, if I'm this thing, I can't be that thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, if I'm a doctor, I can't be a DJ, I can't be this. It's like, it's okay. Like, I think for me, like, it's okay to just do what feels right. Like, really look into yourself and like, see, this feels right to me. And if it doesn't in a few years, that's okay too. Like, if you were like, you know what I mean? Like one thing, and then it's like, oh, if you're creative, you can't be corporate. If you're corporate, you can't be this. If you're this, it's like, you can be all of these things. And I think it's like, obviously things like running a business or doing whatever it is you're doing, even though it's organic, obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it. So you do need to be intentional once you realize like, okay, I am going to do this thing. Yes, I didn't seek it, but it's come to me, and I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do the networking. I'm going to do these things so that it can grow. But like, not to be afraid. I think you can box yourself. Like, oh, I'm only this. And I'm like, no, I have so much stuff within me. It's really good for us to explore all of those things and just be organic and authentic about it as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that concept, honestly. Have you found that you have needed any mentor or people in your life that will be able to, I guess, maybe put you on a different level in terms of like just growing, either when it comes to building the business, building the photography side of things, or just running, because I believe the studio is like people hire the studio.
That's right.
And then they will come, you have the equipments and stuff like that. You can either be the photography or they can just use the space.
That's exactly it. That's right. And in terms of mentors, like, I think mentors is huge, you know? Like, if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're the most creative, if you're whatever, like, you always want to be learning. You want to be around people who know how to do things and teach you, right? Because it'll be arrogant to think that we've learned everything we can. Like, there's so much to learn. So I'm very big on mentors, and they come in different forms and shapes. I have a photography mentor who is like amazing. Like, they help me get a lot of confidence in being like, yeah, I am a photographer. Like, even calling myself that, I used to be like, no, I just take photos and people pay me, but I'm not. It's like, no, I'm a photographer, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that's my entire identity. It's just something that I do. Like, I'm grateful I can make an income from that. And it's something that I genuinely love and was doing even if I wasn't getting paid. Like, I just love doing that. And then, so I have a photographer mentor. I have like a business mentor as well. Because I don't have, like, before I was just a corporate, like, I was just on that employee trying to climb the ladder corporate wise. So I didn't actually have business, like, I guess, experience. I'm like brand new to business, if I'm honest. So then I was like, okay, I need someone who has done this before. So I have like an official mentor that I meet with weekly who's really amazing.
Yeah.
And then I also have other people who've taken me under their wing, and they've kind of just like, they just give me advice, they encourage me, especially people who like have had businesses for a long period of time. So they know what it's like to be at the infancy of the business. And so they know how to be like, okay, yeah, you guys need to be doing X, Y, and Z, practical stuff. But yeah, mentors are everything. So I have like maybe 3 to 5 people who I'd say are role models, mentors for me. And yeah, going it alone, I think it would take me longer to get where I'm going.
Yeah.
If I just try to figure it out. Because I honestly, I've never had a business before. So it's brand new to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Like I'm pretty much similar in that aspect where I gone into business not having a business degree.
Yeah.
I am a trained social worker.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
And then I work in public service.
Oh,
so
yes.
it's all corporate. Nothing to do. But one thing I always notice is like I rely on people and I connect with people.
Yeah.
And people are part of who we are.
100%.
It makes everything better when we've got people who can either guide us or build us up, or just we can connect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and especially when we are working towards our purpose and what our vision is, or the things that are very passionate to us.
Yes.
Those people are the people that can help guide you.
100%.
If you find the right people, of course.
Yeah. Even just like, it's not even always advice, because sometimes it's actually more just like people just listening to some of what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it's like the people around me, like my sister, my husband, who I'm like around quite a lot, like I don't want to burden them with everything. Like, yeah, they want to hear it, but like you want to go to someone who's like, okay, tell me what's going on in the business. Like really tell me. And it's like, it's therapeutic to have those people who are like there to listen, instead of me being like, yo, you got 5 minutes and I'm trying to like spew out all this stuff. Someone actually be like, hey, look, once a week for an hour, like let's go into this and really like strategize. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. I hope I can do that for people too. That's why when people ask me for opportunities, I'm like, I'm going to say yes, because I'm also looking for help too. So who am I to say no to like others coming to help, you know?
And that's why like DMs are just so amazing.
Yes, it goes down in the DMs. It goes down. Yeah, 100%.
DMs. Oh, I love me some good DMs. Always somebody has just gone, hey, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. Do you know whatever the situation is?
I love recommendations. I'm like a recommendations hoarder. I'm like, recommend all the things, help. Like we can all just help each other, honestly. You get further together.
100%.
So why not? Yeah.
And there is a lot of, especially in the community that we live in, there is a lot of always people not supporting other people
100%.
or wanting to just do, this is me, I need to win by myself. When really, if you were connecting, now we know each other. Now we know our skills and stuff like that. We can utilize
We're
the same
stronger
thing,
together for sure.
right?
For sure. I think it's that scarcity mindset, like I don't want to share what I have because they might take my clients, my photography clients, or they might take the brands I work with. It's like, I can't take what's yours and you can't take what's mine. We can just share and whatever happens, happens. And like the doors for me that are open, it's just for me. So I don't have to be worried about like sharing those things.
It's maturity, I think.
Yeah, and secure. Like you're secure in
you're
knowing
so
like
secure,
me telling you and teaching, like sharing, okay, this mentor, this, like these recommendations. There's nothing that I lose out from letting you know what I do or how I do it. Yeah.
Oh,